Hi everyone, this is Jackie, Jack's Creative Inspirations on YouTube and on Facebook. On Instagram, if you would like to follow me, my handle is @scrappinjacks. That's a holdover from my scrapbooking and card making days. And I wanted to say good evening to all my floss boss and cousin heifers. And oh my gosh, I am just beyond honored that Christy shouted me out in their latest Flosstube, that she saw my video and she was wanting to know more information about the boxes that I was using for travel. So I was at the Library Stitchers Retreat in April, right after Easter, in Augusta, Maine. And they have already announced that there will be a Library Stitchers Retreat 2026. The dates are April 10th and 11th, and I do not yet know when signups will happen. But believe you me, there's a lot of us already getting our fingers ready to sign up for it when it happens. So, to answer Christy's questions, this is the tote that I used. It is a sewing machine tote, and I apologize for shakiness. I'm going to do everything in my power not to be so shaky. This is a sewing machine tote that I picked up at Walmart, around $50. It has pockets on either end. There's the pocket on that end. There is this this piece right here is a pocket, but it's rather shallow, so it wouldn't hold much, maybe rulers and scissors. And then in the front, this pocket here literally is not very secure. It's just a Velcro tab that holds it open. And then these two sides simply zip down, and then the whole thing pulls forward so you can pull your machine out or put your machine back in. And then it has this tie down strap to hold your machine in place. In the lid are 3 vinyl pockets. So in this pocket, I have my wrist and hand gloves. I have carpal tunnel and it gets really vicious sometimes. This is a back scratcher. It's a telescoping back scratcher. It serves 2 purposes. Number 1, yep, it's a back scratcher. And number 2, it makes an excellent rake to rake things toward you that you've dropped onto the floor. I think behind here is a telescoping magnet. In this pocket, that is beeswax. That is not lip balm. Beeswax, a Tide pin, a definite telescoping magnet, an unstitcher from Lori Holt, and a lint roller. I always have a lint roller with me. I have a furry child. She has a lot of fur. There's dust, there's lint. Yes, I am a rebel. Yes, I eat where I stitch. So, you know, and picking up those little bits of frogging that you have. Behind here is a boo-boo wand, you know, for the same reason. In here, I keep business cards. I keep little clippies that I get at Dollar Tree to hold my fabric around my hoop. I use Nerge hoops. And then some people mark up their patterns. I always have a working copy, and I always mark my patterns. I do not use Pattern Keeper. I do not use markup. I print out my PDF copies because I'm trying to save space. So these are, if you're a child of the 70s and 80s, you remember the 4-color Bic pens. Well, these are 4 colors, but they're pastel colors: pink, purple, orange, yellow, teal, blue, Gary green, purple, and pink. Gary green, if you know, you know. And so I use these to mark off my pattern rather than a highlighter or a colored pencil. And then you can also write with them. So I tuck those in there as well. Now, strapped in here are the boxes that Christy was asking about, so I will show them to you. These are 12 by 12. Well, they will hold 12 by 12 inch paper from the and 12 by 12 inch paper, and you can purchase these in the scrapbook storage area at Hobby Lobby. In fact, that's where I got 4 of these. So I'm going to show you. This is, let me see if I can get this light out of the way so there's not so much glare. So this is a 12 by 12 by 1 inch deep scrapbook paper bin. The lid just snaps in place. This is a project. So here is the chart. This is Parrot from Salty Stitcher Designs. This is a stitch along we are doing with the Garon Sunday Zoom group. This is the chart. This is my project card. This is my magnetic board to keep myself straight on where I'm stitching. I'm using 12 weight sulky for this project. This is my fabric in a nerd hoop. Let me see here what the, and yes, this is the fabric. It is a tie-dye fabric. I special ordered this from an Etsy shop called Oblong Meow. Okay, and it's sliding forward, sorry. This nerd hoop is one of the larger ones. It's a number 3. 220 millimeters is actually 22 centimeters, which is 4 centimeters. No, excuse me, 10 centimeters is 4 inches. So this is about 8 inches. And so yeah, I have this huge piece of fabric on this rather large nerd hoop. I fold it up. There's my pattern. There is my chart, my project card, my floss. I have my needle on my needle minder on. Yep, whoops, sorry. It just came flying out at me. But I keep all of these. It's in here very nice, neat, and tidy. And it then, you just, I'm sorry, I'm doing this one-handed here, so let me pull it down like this. There's that, and there's that. And then it just slides back in here. So I took with me 5 projects to Library Stitchers. An ode to libraries from Heartstring Samplery. This was a start we did at Library Stitchers. Dr. Raven is one of the animal crackers, and I took her to start her because we were doing a all cracked up LSR all cracked up Sal. So, and this is an older model. This is from the brand Iris. IRIS. So I took her off of the Nurge, but that was my start for Dr. Raven. And Dr. Raven, a lot of people don't understand Dr. Raven is a bunny, but this right here is a plague mask. So Dr. Raven is a plague doctor. That's what it is. There's historical significance behind this. They would put herbs and spices and flowers like carnations and roses and the very smelly flowers in these cones. The herbs and spices later have been scientifically proven to be antibacterial, antiviral, antiseptic, and then the flowers, it was all to cover the smell and to keep them from getting sick themselves. So again, my project card with all my information, my flosses, my hoop, my chart, my fabric, all in this nice, neat little case. This is my needlework system for table stand with the clamp. I recently purchased this for myself. I promised myself I was going to get it. And it comes apart. So you unscrew this part and the arm comes off. And then you unscrew this part and the clamp comes off. And then I was able to tuck those 3 pieces in here with the boxes. Now, Christy makes a very valid point in that this would be an excellent way to keep your kitted projects. And I did this because the project bags, I love my project bags. Do not get me wrong. I will not stop my Garon Stitchery project bags subscription. And I will not stop my Tiger Lily quarterly keeper project keeper club. I will not stop those. I love my bags. At the same time, this was so helpful when traveling because this was very neat and tidy, and I didn't have all these misshapen bags that I was trying to Tetris into something, and everything was neat and tidy, and I didn't have to worry, where are my scissors? So let me show you. This is a current project. I cannot show you everything because this project, I am extremely honored to be asked to model stitch an exclusive chart for Stitching in the Wild this fall. So I cannot show you everything about this chart, but let me show you. This is my active project at the moment. So my card, my flosses, my chart. Here are my scissors with my Acorns and Threads scissor sheath. And I'm going to, there's a little peek. And my needle minder and my pen for marking off the chart. This was a needle book that was in our Acorn Gathering in January, our Acorn Gathering kit for the class or for the gathering. I don't remember if it was Crafty Corey who made this or not, but this book, it doubles as a thread bed for me. There's little pockets in here. In this pocket, I have my needle threaders. Oh, where did it go? There it is. There's my little honeybee. And there's another needle threader. There's another pocket here. This is a needle puller. If I have carpal tunnel, so my fingers are numb. So I have trouble sometimes pulling my needle. I pull my needle through my stitches on the back to finish off my thread. So this helps. It's silicone. I just tuck it under my needle. Come on, work with me here. Here we go. Tuck it under. Yeah, right. Okay. So I tuck it under my needle. You taco this around it and you pull, and it pulls right on through. Easy peasy. The book was made with 4 pages, 22 size needles, 24 size needles, 26 size needles, and as you can tell, this is my favorite size, 28 needles. And then in the back are 2 more pockets. I have another needle puller here. I have a couple of straight pins for counting pins. I have another needle minder in here. So this fits in there. Again, all nice, neat, tidy, in place, all together. I can pick it up and go for it. And it's wonderful. And then I was able to drop this into my backpack and take it with me to work to stitch on while I was on my break. So these are the boxes. And yes, Christy made a great point about these boxes and holding kitted projects in storage. Unfortunately, that is a 4x2 calyx unit. That is a 4x4 calyx unit. I invite you to go back behind that chair. I invite you to go back in my videos, Jack's Creative Inspirations, JAX apostrophe Creative Inspirations. I invite you to go back into my videos. Back in January, I did a 4-part kit parade, and I am now approaching well over 500 kitted projects, and I'm including dimensions kits, Mill Hill kits, yeah. So anyway, it's a great idea, but that part of it's not going to work for me. But again, the paper craft storage section at Hobby Lobby, You can go on Amazon, look for 12-inch by 12-inch by 1-inch deep, 1-inch deep, paper craft storage. After I got back from Maine, there was a gentleman who had a box of 10 of these that he put up on Facebook Marketplace for $20. So that was one of those rare things. However, they are out there, and that is the boxes. That is how they work. If you have any questions whatsoever, please, please, please reach out. I'm more than happy to answer them. That is where we are at. So I am going to let you go. Thank you so much for indulging me in this 15, 16 minutes of explaining how I travel with my projects. And have a phenomenal week ahead. I am going to quote Jenny Alley, who is part of the Bougie Stitchers and the owner of the Cross Stitch Emporium. I hope your stitches lay flat. I encourage you to curate those crafting supplies and create with those crafting supplies and be inspiring. And above all else, everybody, be kind. It's a crappy place we're in right now. Be kind. All right, y'all, take care, and I will chat with you soon. Bye.